Alright guys, as I spoke in one of my videos, my last video yesterday, I was speaking about Eminem, and it's just got me thinking a lot, because I started listening to Eminem when I was like year 7, which I'm not sure is in America. I think that's like the beginning of high school, because it is the beginning of secondary school in England, so the beginning of high school I think that is in, the beginning of high school in America. It also got me thinking is, just those first couple of years of like high school where, like in my opinion they were the best years. The year 7, 8, all I just remember is just going to school every day, always being with like all your mates are there. There's not really there's no pressure on you to do anything at all. Like you go to school, you learn, like you go to your classes like geography, history, just pissing about with your mates, just having I don't know, that's just what I remember, just like having such a fun time in those years of school. I just remember like all the stories you have of like the people. I remember one story actually is there was this guy in my FT class. If you don't know what FT is like food technology, so it's like cooking stuff, which I didn't like at all. It wasn't my thing. I think the best thing I made was like beans on toast. But yeah, basically we're doing that, and there was this guy in our class. I can't remember what his name was. And I can't remember how it got to this part, like how it got to this conversation. But he accidentally killed his gerbil. No, his gerbil. I think it was his gerbil. His hamster. Sorry, his hamster got sick, and he gave his hamster human painkillers, which I still think's hilarious. It was like we were young, so he was a kid, but he gave his hamster human painkillers, and it died. And year 7, you don't really think about the effects of what you say too much. And me and my friends, we did sort of rip it into a bit. I was never a bully or anything like that. It's just one of those one-off things like, oh my god, this is hilarious. And then a lot of the class joined in. And then when a lot of the class joined in, I did feel quite bad because I'm not the type of person that likes to gang up on one person. I don't do that. It was just a joke that got a bit out of hand. And then he told this is the worst bit, because I've always hated people that snitch. I've never been a snitch. I don't like snitches. Then he snitched on the teacher. I mean, like he could have dealt with it, like just with him personally saying it, because we would have stopped. We're not going to carry it on. But he went and snitched, and then that wasn't cool. And then the teacher made us write a card to him. I think it was my mate. You had to write a card like, sorry for taking the mick out that your hamster killed. That you killed your hamster, sorry, with painkillers. And we had to sign this card. And literally the whole class. We were just sitting and we were all standing like rows. We were just watching him, just said, like, tell the teacher about, like, the stuff that we'd said, and, it was just, we were just giving him evils and stuff like that. It was jokes. It was a funny thing. I've got so many more, like, hilarious stories from school, because a lot of stuff in my school happened, because my school was, it's the biggest school, like, in my area, or, like, in England. I think there's, like, 2,500 people go to my school, or went to my high school, which is crazy amount. Oh well, split triple headshot feed.
Oh, what a rat! He couldn't kill me, so he just ran and destroyed my tank. It's so gay.
Oh my god, I just hit a 6 shot.
Oh my god!
Oh my, how am I doing this? How am I doing this? I don't understand. I've hit so much stuff. That was crazy. Oh my god, that was like cross, like the back bit of standoff. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm doing. I don't know how I